Hello, friends. I'm sharing 3 dinners and 1 dessert. They're cookies.
Hello, as you all can see, I am making another chicken dinner. Well, recipe, not dinner. I am making the filling for the paprika / empanadas. I didn't make my disc out of, I just bought mine already made. These are what they look like.
I took the disc, laid them out, and then spooned in a tablespoon and a half of meat, a little bit of cheese, and then I use my fork to crimp it. That way it seals, and those little papers that they come with, that's like the dividers, keep them there because they keep them from sticking. I fried these. You could bake them if you like. These came out so good. They were nice, crunchy, and the filling was delicious. This is the first time I used chicken in my pastelillo empanada. You should try these. My next meal is baked ribs and rice with pigeon peas together. We call it in Spanish, o con gandules. And I do make the seasoning in the pot before I add the rice. I'll put those ingredients in the description as well. It turned out delicious. I got company while I was doing this, and I missed a step of showing you here. After these beans, I added the rice, and then I added the water. So when I came back, I just could show you how much water I put over the rice. I used 4 cups of rice, and this is how it turned out. It looks and it tastes delicious. Some of us just had the ribs. Some of us had ribs with the rice and some spinach, but the ribs were falling off the bone. Those were a prep that I did for the following day. Then I made my dessert, which was my chocolate chip coconut oat cookies. I also have the recipe for this. I will leave that in the comments as well, in the description. That way you could follow it if you like. And they turned out very good. They keep very well on the counter for about 3 days, and then you could put them in the refrigerator up to a week and a half to 2 weeks. You could freeze these as well. But they're delicious, and you could follow this step by step if you'd like. I have another cookie that I also make that it's somewhat similar to this, but it doesn't have any chocolate chip. It's a coconut oat and rum cookie. I have that recipe in my videos as well. If you like, you could try it. I still need help with some things, just in case you don't know. I had an accident in January, so still the mixing things, I need help still because I can't hit it the way I want to with my hand. And as I'm talking, I'm swishing my arm over here. So I have help from my husband, and he mixed it for me. But it's pretty easy. I have mixers. I just decided not to use it that day because I didn't want to mess up the kitchen, and then I have to, spend more time cleaning up, so I just used that one bowl. And I added coconut because I had it, but the recipe didn't call for coconut. It actually called for raisins, but I prefer coconut over raisins. And you could add whatever you want to. You could add your chocolate chips, mix chocolate chips with vanilla chips, and use the raisins, whatever you'd like. They still taste just as good. I crumble my paper here, my parchment paper, so it can stay in place and it won't move around when I start putting my scoops of cookie in. Sometimes they move around and they fall off the baking pan. I got 2.5 dozens from this batch. Depending on the size you make it, you could even get more out of it. But this is my dessert, and I call it dessert, but really this is the dessert within here, not for me. I taste a few of them and then I give them away. My next meal is the chicken that I had prepared in advance. That was also a prep meal that I had. I chopped up 2 chicken breasts, made them into little cubes, whatever size you like. I seasoned them with salt, pepper, garlic, oregano. I did hit it with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and I put like 2 tablespoons of my sofrito, which is in one of my previous videos, and I put it in a Ziploc bag. I also added onions and peppers in there, and I froze it. And then today, when I went to use it, I just took it out yesterday, put it in the refrigerator so it could defrost, and I used it today with not the stir fry, but I used it with the regular vegetables, and I cooked the meat a little bit ahead of time, and then I added the vegetables, and I had some, what do I want to say? Here I'm mixing it still. So, and that's the same thing I did to the ribs. I added all those ingredients to the ribs. This is my lunch, and this was my husband's dinner. So here I have the sliced chicken. I added the chicken to the pan, then I added the vegetables, and slowly I went cooking them a little bit at a time. Be careful with your seasoning after you put in your vegetables, because you already have seasoned your chicken. So you just got to go a little bit at a time. If you want to add like salt, pepper, garlic, and onions to your vegetables, you could do so after you taste your meat and everything. Make sure you don't overdo it. I don't know if you guys do this with your mushrooms. I just had mushrooms and I threw them in there too. I always wipe them down or napkin or paper towel, because they come with dirt and the water does not take that out. So I do that, and I only use them because I have them. I cook the chicken halfway, then I poured in my vegetables and the mushrooms. I kept stirring it once in a while. I put a lid on it, and I cut my sweet potato in half, put it in the microwave for 5 minutes, and voila, I had lunch. And then this evening we had dinner, and my husband had the rice with the stir-fried chicken and vegetables. I appreciate you watching my video. I hope that you can try one of these dinners. They were all delicious, and the cookies were fantastic. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I am thankful for all of you. You have a great day. Until next time, take care.